All right. So you remember that Shiloh Hendrix chick, right? That used the hard R, the N word. Oh my God, a word scary. A while back because a little black kid was stealing from her kid. Well, apparently now the Rochester City is going to charge her with shit, which I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me that that would be something that's going to be happening. But let's jump over here. Yoink. There we go. Let's check it out.
The Rochester City Attorney's Office has announced it will charge Shiloh Hendrix with 3 counts of disorderly conduct. Wrote this up over at Phantom Pulse.
Disorderly conduct for what? Using a word and having someone film her?
You can find the link in the description below. These plain charges come 4 months after Hendrix was captured on video saying the N-word multiple times during an argument with a man at a park, after she reportedly caught a kid stealing from her then 18-month-old son's diaper bag. In fact, the actual report here from the city indicates that the kid did indeed steal from her son's diaper bag here. It says here, one of his children, YJ, is 8 years of age and is profoundly and visibly autistic. Due to his disability, YJ does not understand typical boundaries and requires intensive parental supervision. SHJ explained that at some point, while
I'm still calling bullshit on this because it didn't. No one said anything about this kid being autistic until like a good amount of time later. You know, when people were taking Shiloh Hendrix, this lady's side for what she did. Now, do I think she should have used that language? Yeah, probably not. There's a better way to react to it. And unless you already have that word in your head, you're not going to say the hard R anyway, unless it's already stuck in your head for some reason. All right? No. You'd say, yeah, you little shit or you little fucker, but not the N-word.
At the park, YJ approached a diaper bag that belonged to someone else and took an applesauce pouch from the bag. SHJ saw YJ take the item and attempted to retrieve the item from his son. Defendant also saw YJ take the item from her diaper bag and began chasing YJ as well. YJ climbed the playground equipment in an attempt to get away from his father and from defendant. Defendant became very angry while chasing YJ. Defendant shouted at him and repeatedly used a racial epithet, the N-word. YJ is of Somali background, causing YJ to freeze. Based on her anger and her words, SHJ feared that the defendant may strike YJ. Defendant angrily grabbed the food item from YJ and did not actually strike the child. But they admit here that this kid did indeed take the applesauce pouch from her backpack.
And yeah, I mean, regardless of the kid maybe, possibly being autistic in some way, they're fucking 8. Be mad about it, sure, but don't, you know, I've always stated I think her calling the kid the N-word was a bit fucking much.
So that is actually in their report. As far as the charges, each of them carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and or $1,000 fine. As part of the announcement, the Rochester City's Attorney's Office said this matter involved a large amount of evidence and required careful consideration of potential charging options across multiple offices. Additionally, under Minnesota law, prosecutors are required to involve and consider the perspective of the crime victim. Given the sensitive and complicated nature of this case, along with the high level of public attention, completing the necessary reviews and conversations.
No, this isn't we're doing what's right for the victim, we're doing what's right for our laws, blah, 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 blah. No, this is not everybody, I'm sorry. A decent amount of people got behind the Shiloh Hendrix lady for just speaking, I guess. You could say in her own way speaking out, but that's not really the verbiage I want to use. It's more like, because I'm not the brainiest of brains, if you hadn't figured that one out by now. How do I say this? Because I disagree with the words she used, but I agree with her being burnt out. Because fortunately, I think I hate saying this, I think the black fatigue thing is real. I think that if you see any group of people, any group, it doesn't matter to me if it's black people or Asian people of some sort, or, you know, say, okay, here's an example I could use. Say a bunch of South Korean people came here and started gang violence and shooting at each other and ruining people's livelihoods and robbing and stealing and, you know, those sorts of things. And now, thanks to the TikTok and internet age, we also have it on video, and we are seeing it all of the time. You would imagine that at some point there would be some type of fatigue going on, wouldn't you? You'd imagine that at some point there'd be some type of, I am tired of this shit. And honestly, I think her using that word and her being angry was kind of the catalyst for people to start actually admitting that to themselves. Now, like I said, do I agree with the word she used? No, not at all.
With the victim's family took longer than usual. As the legal process moves forward, the city recognizes not only the significant attention and emotion surrounding this case, but also the complex and lasting impact situations like this have on communities of color and our broader community. Conversations and activities are unfolding.
It has no fucking impact. I'm sorry. If a community calls each other a racist word, and like I said, I don't care what it is. It was a black community calling each other the N-word. Sorry, black folks, calling yourselves the N-word doesn't take away the power of the word. It just means you're calling each other that word. Even if you put a soft A on the end of it and don't pronounce the R, it's the same fucking thing. All right, that would be the same thing as if my example from before, the South Korean community coming to America and calling themselves, I don't know. I'm trying to make up a word, so I don't want to use the other one, because if I can't say the N-word, I'm not going to say the other one too, because I think it should be fair. Rice patty thumpers or whatever, if they call each other rice patty thumper, it's the same fucking thing.
Holding across many different spaces, reflecting both immediate reactions and long-term needs. These ongoing efforts will continue regardless of the outcome of the legal proceedings. Rochester City's Mayor Kim Norton added this was a situation that deeply affected many people, especially our communities of color, and caused real turmoil in our community. We acknowledge the lasting impact this incident has had, not only on those directly involved and across our community, but also in the broader conversations happening at the state and national level. These moments remind us of the complexity and far-reaching impacts of situations like this. The city remains committed to staying engaged and proceeding with transparency and care, continuing efforts that support accountability and progress in Rochester. So this is clear evidence that woke cancel culture is still alive and well. Now,
yeah, it's clear evidence that not only is cancel culture alive and well, it's just been kind of hiding for a while. It's clear evidence that the people in power will do anything they can to destroy you if they do not agree with your opinion. They will do anything they can to destroy you if you do not follow them like a good little lemming.
Do I think that Shiloh Hendrix should have used that language? No, I do not. Nope. I'm going to kind of echo what Fandom Pulse co-owner John De La Rose has previously said on this subject. He said here, civil discourse requires clean speech, and shouting vulgar language at each other is a sin. On top of this, directing it at a youth is beyond crass and should be condemned, even if her subsequent follow-up to show she has no fear of the cancel pig following her was entertaining.
Agreed.
So 100% agree with what he had to say here. It's also kind of something that Matt Walsh had also kind of talked about as well. So should she have said that? No, absolutely not. Was it sinful? Yes, that's what I agree. Should the city be trying to legally punish her for disorderly conduct? Absolutely not. And in fact, if they're going to be going after Shiloh Hendrix, then why aren't they also going after the man who was clearly following her and recording her throughout the park? I have to imagine.
Oh, I know exactly why.
That there is probably harassment happening in that case under the laws of Minnesota that they could probably pursue. So I find it very...
But they won't, because it doesn't adhere to their ideology.
Interesting that there is nothing happening towards that, and that leads me to believe that this entire thing is being racially motivated, and we can even see this kind of in the mayor's comments. So I think maybe the federal government needs to step in here and take a look at what is going on in Rochester City, what is happening in the state of Minnesota.
I think that would be an abuse of power. If you were singling her out for whatever word she used, because that's why it's happening, it's not happening because of any other reason. They are singling her out because she used the N-word, all right? They're singling her out because the cancel culture thing didn't work, so now they're using lawfare to do it. That's the only reason, in my humble guy pretending to be a cartoon on the internet's opinion.
Minnesota and see if they are actually be engaging in racial discrimination here and trying to target Shiloh Hendrix because of.
But I'm wondering, what are the actual charges? Because they haven't really, he hasn't mentioned like what the actual charges of, and like public misconduct. What the fuck is that? That's not a charge. I want the details
of her race and whether or not we can actually go after this city mayor. Now, I think that is exactly what needs to happen because I'm tired of this stuff. I'm absolutely sick of this stuff. It's ridiculous. The double standard needs to end and we need to put a stop to it. And that's all I see here out of this case because this is just utterly ridiculous that they're even filing these charges. It's just stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Did what Shiloh Hendrix say was wrong? And do I disagree with it? Yes. Should she be for it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if they're going to charge her, well, they need to be charging the guy who was literally following her around, recording her and baiting her and harassing her as well and trying to cancel her, which is exactly what he tried to do. And will the Rochester City's Attorney's Office go after all of the people who were saying mean things to Shiloh Hendrix online? Are they going to do that?
Oh, you fucking know they're not going to do any of that shit. Come on, dude.
Highly doubt it. It does not look like that is the case. Clear double standard happening here, and this needs to be ended. This needs to be ended. President Donald Trump, I think, should get involved, should go after this Rochester City mayor, should go after their attorney's office, and should go after the state of Minnesota for even allowing this stuff to happen. I mean, this is just utterly ridiculous. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable.
Yeah, I mean, I like how they're saying, you know, that all the charges against her for public misconduct or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so how about, I don't know, equal measures on that? Wouldn't it be awesome if there was some type of equal measure on that so everybody got treated the same? Of course, we all know that's not going to happen, and we all know that the reason this happened is because of pure fucking ideology and for no reason other than if she wasn't a white lady that said the N-word and didn't get canceled, I highly doubt anybody would be saying heck shit about it. I just don't think that would be an issue. Anyway, moving on. If you would do me that giant favor and listen to Ludwig here and help me up those numbers on YouTube. We are sitting currently at 567. Like, what, 5 or 6 more of those came through from when I wasn't streaming or doing videos. So thank you for that. Hopefully now that I'm hopefully gonna be back in the groove of doing things, we can see that number climb. Also, hit a follow on Twitch and a follow on Kick too if you do decide you'd like to do that. I'd be much appreciated. Bye bye.